Okay, so welcome everybody. Thanks for joining this session. My name is Mahdi Triki. I am co-founder and VP Sales and Marketing of RoamSmart. And today I'll be introducing our company and portfolio, but more specifically focus on the new innovation that we are bringing to the market, which is the Rollout module, the Rollout Optimizer. RoamSmart was founded in 2012 with the objective to design and develop innovative roaming management solutions to help the operators and specifically the roaming teams to automate and digitize the daily activities around the roaming business. We have a couple of global partners who are reselling our solutions and proposing them to their customers from the roaming domain. For instance, two data clearing providers, Comphone and ADCH, and one BI system provider, which is Yana Technologies. We have also a technical partnership with Microsoft when it comes to the cloud infrastructure. So we are using the Microsoft Azure cloud with high availability and performance standards. And we are, of course, GSMA associate member. Our company has been awarded a couple of times during the last years based on surveys which were launched by ROCCO. And the last one was in the summer 2020 for the top innovators, and we have been ranked 13th most innovative supplier in the roaming and interconnect business. Today we are very glad to serve 112 customers in 85 countries on all 5 continents. And this includes 4 full groups, for instance, Telenor Group, Orange Group, Vion Group, and Telia Group, and other individual opcos like SoftBank, Japan, Hong Kong Telecom, Etisalat, UAE, and others. So we are, as I said, we are focused on what we call roaming management, the challenges in the roaming management field, and they have basically 3, complexity aspects. The first one, of course, you know better than me that when you establish a roaming partnership between 2 operators, you need to go through different steps and phases, starting with the negotiation, SIM card exchange, signature of AA12 and 13, then to the IREG and TADIC testing until the commercial launch. But even after the commercial launch, there is still a lot of data and documents which will need to be exchanged on continuous basis, basically forever. Which includes, of course, the RIAX documents, IR21, IoT, and OBData, but also you need to negotiate and renegotiate and sign discount agreements every year in most of the cases. You need also to follow up on your the quality of your network configuration, on your inbound roaming market share, and other regular activities. So all these steps you need to do, of course, with hundreds, 600, 700 roaming partners. This is the second complexity aspect. And the third one is that within this process, of course, several departments from your organization are involved. So not only the roaming team, but also you have the core teams, the support team, the IT team, the finance, etc. So this adds more complexity because you need to manage the internal communication. You make sure that everyone has the right and the updated data. So all this really adds up to a significant amount of workload, and if you do these activities manually, then of course there is a risk of manual errors, which can lead to impacting the service availability, and also to have a negative impact on your business profitability. That's why we see that there is a need for, let's say, a process complexity. This process complexity requires, let's say, a transverse platform to automate and centralize this data. And we see in the market there is a need for what we call a roaming digital transformation platform. Our answer to this challenge is our unified roaming platform. So it's a one-stop shop platform, big database technology, which offers access to several modules. And each module or application is addressing a specific challenge from the daily roaming management activity. Today we have 9 modules within this platform that you see now on the screen, and we keep adding new modules. So in general, in average, we release 2 modules every year to expand the scope of the unified platform, to address additional challenges, and the vision, of course, to end up with a full comprehensive platform which centralizes and automates all roaming management challenges for every roaming partner and every mobile operator. So the modules are focusing on the RACs, management. So 3 documents which are standardized by GSMA, R21 for the technical data, IoT for the standard tariffs and of data for the operational data. So these are 3 modules, IREC 360, IoT 360, and of data 360. The RMT module, roaming management tool, is focusing on the coordination, on the workflow management and project management, on the document repository and SIM card repository. So it's a comprehensive coordination umbrella system, let's say. The RDBA is focusing on the checking and auditing of the core network configuration. The IRMS provides you with inbound roaming market share reports. The TADIG module is automating the TADIG validation step. The deals module is focusing on the discount contract management, so creating the contract, the workflow up to the digital electronic signature automation. And then the last module that we have released recently is the RoLLOP, the Rollout Optimizer, which is the main subject for today's session. So regarding the RoLLOP, so one of the challenges of mobile operators, all of them today, is that roaming business is evolving quickly, following, of course, the evolution of the mobile industry and the mobile technology, with new services being introduced almost simultaneously. So you have heard and you have seen in the last months, maybe year or two, services from 4G going to voice over LTE, to NB IoT, to LTE-M, to 5G roaming. So all these services have really been standardized and specified in a short time frame. Roaming teams, of course, they need to plan and execute a real marathon of rollout activity. They need to open, or to plan at least, the opening of these services, all these services with all the roaming partners as soon as possible. This is the challenge that all operators are facing today. Of course, all operators are faced with limited resources when it comes to roaming coordinators, to IREC testers and TADIC testers. And time to market and the competitive situation is putting more pressure on them, because everyone would like to offer the best service coverage to their subscribers. So that's why we see that the roaming teams really need a way, an automated way, to prioritize the rollout activity, to automate this roadmap definition based on specific criteria, so that they really roll out the service with the best roaming partner, which makes more business sense, let's say. So our answer to this challenge is our RoLLOP module, our new solution or application. RoLLOP is a big data-based application which actually combines several technical and business inputs from different sources and formats. And the output is that the module will suggest the priority roadmap for new services, new service openings with selected roaming partners. The prioritization algorithm is, of course, needs to be tailored for each individual operator. So it needs to be customizable, because every operator might have different priority, different criteria for selecting their roaming partners. So the first version that we have released commercially to the market has this current list of inputs, which will be processed by the RoLLOP. The first input is, of course, the current roaming coverage of the mobile operator, which means the list of roaming partners and the list of services which are live with this roaming partner. This input can, of course, come automatically to the RoLLOP module if you are using our RMT module, our roaming management tool module. In this case, there is an automated flow in the back end of the unified platform, which goes to the RoLLOP as an input. If you are not using our RMT module, then we will, of course, parse or process any Excel file or report that you have, that you are maintaining internally, which has the updated information on your list of live partners with live services. The second input is the R21 documents, which is the most reliable source to know if a specific operator is supporting a specific service in roaming. So if an operator is ready for, let's say, VoLTE roaming, they have to fill in the section in the R21, the section related to VoLTE roaming. So this is how we know if a specific operator is supporting this service today or not. If you are using our IREC 360 module for R21 end-to-end management, then of course there will be an automated flow again, going from the IREC to the RoLLOP module with all the latest updates of the R21s. If you are not using or not subscribing to our IREC 360, then we will of course set up a connectivity to your InfoCenter account so that we get the flow of all the new R21 documents. Then the third input possible is the list of discount deals. So all the discount contracts that you have already in place with your preferred roaming partners. This information can come automatically if you are using our deals modules, which has all the list of your ongoing and live contracts. Or if you are not using our deals, then we will get any kind of extract from your BI system, business intelligence, or any sheet or any file that you are maintaining with this information. And then, of course, same applies to the traffic volumes, which we can get from the DCH, the data cleaning provider, or from BI system or other systems. Additional input is the IoT charge, which can come from our deals module if you have it in place, or from BI system, probably. And the last input is, of course, the target services. So which services you want to roll out as a next priority. So this is something that you can, of course, configure directly on the interface. So this is the list of the inputs, which are today available in this current first commercial version of the RoLLOP solution. Of course, we expect in the next versions to have more inputs to enrich the scope of the RoLLOP based on probably feedback that we hope to get from you today or from the future demo and presentations. The output of the RoLLOP is, of course, the list of roaming partners, which will be matching these selected service gaps and these criteria that we have configured, and the logic and the algorithm that you can customize. But also important and a significant added value is the integration with the workflow solution, with our RMT module, the roaming management tool. So if you are subscribing to our RMT module, then you close the loop and you have a full automated process, which means that the RoLLOP will suggest the priority rollout projects. And if you agree to that, they can be pushed directly to the RMT module. The projects are created and the team members will start working on them immediately. In terms of graphical user interface, there are two parts actually in the solution. So the inputs part where you can configure your logic. So you can, of course, select the services that you want to roll out. You can have one or several. So it's a multiple select choice here. So you can have 2, 3 services or directions at the same time. You select the discount charge if you want to see the charges shown in net charge or gross charge. You can select the discount service. Based on it, you will see the charge in the table. So it can be data or SMS or voice. And then also we select the service for us to prepare the traffic share in both inbound and outbound. If you want to see it based on data, on SMS, or on voice. And then you select also the time period that you want us to use as reference to show you the data on the table. And then the output, as you can see, is a tabular view, which basically shows you a holistic view on this part of the business, which means first, of course, you will see the list of your roaming partners with whom you don't have this service. So in this case, we are selecting LTE inbound. So we will see the list of all your roaming partners where LTE inbound is not live. So we don't have a live service. You might have other services live with this operator, but LTE inbound is not live. That's the first filtering that it's done automatically. In addition to that, you will have one column for the service supported. So here you will see which operators are ready for LTE roaming and which are not. So the ones who are ready will be shown on a green box, and the red box will tell you that these operators are not putting any information in their LTE section of R21. Then you have a column for discount, which will basically tell you as well if you have a discount deal with it operator or not. So it will be in green, and you will see the net charge of the data in this case, in this box. This is the charge of data in net. If you don't have a discount deal, you will see the box in red on the discount column, and you will see the standard A14 chart then shown to you. And then you have two columns for the traffic share, inbound and outbound, for data in this case, which also it's an important input to see your position in terms of traffic share with this roaming partner. And then you have the coverage situation for the other services, GSM inbound, outbound, GPRS, and then Camel and 4G, etc. So this is, of course, an important input to see, because in some cases there might be a link between the services. Maybe you can say, I want only to open 5G with an operator where I have already voice VoLTE or anything else. So this is also an important input to take into consideration. So basically, as I said, you will have a holistic view with all these inputs coming from technical, from commercial, from financial aspect. And then this, of course, will make it much easier to select. You can see on the spot which rollouts you should start with, which makes more sense, where you have already, where the roaming partner is supporting the service, where you have a discount, where you have a good situation in terms of traffic share, where you have already some live services, etc. So it's really something which can help quickly to the roaming teams and the managers and the rollout managers to take the right decision and to select here on, based on all these inputs, to select the priority openings which makes more sense for the business as such. So the RoLLOP was designed jointly with our strategic partner and customer, Telenor Group. So we have created a task force which has been working since a couple of months on the design, on which inputs make more sense to start with, the features and how the service should function. So from Telenor Group, we had the group rollout manager and 2 roaming product managers. And from RoamSmart side, we had the marketing manager, the CTO, and the R&D manager. Telenor Group is actually now started the test phase. Actually, it's not a POC, it's a test phase on the commercial version. They started testing it within the group in December, and we are expecting some final suggestions and feedback by end of February. It's important to note that Telenor Group is let's say testing a fully automated process, because they are already using our roaming management tool for the workflow and service opening management, and they are already using our iRec 360 degrees for the R21 management. So they are already testing the target fully end-to-end automated process with very little manual intervention. The business model of this module is a standard software as a service business model, where there is a setup fee for the account creation and the configuration, plus, if needed, integration with external systems, and then, of course, a monthly subscription to the software. The benefits for the mobile operators are, first, the combination of different data sources in different formats. That's why we use a big data based technology. So you have, as I said, IR21 documents in XML format. You have roaming coverage status, which might be in Excel, or traffic feed, discount deals and charges. Second benefit is the process automation. So the fact that a system can automatically process and combine and apply an algorithm on all these data feeds and get you a real-time output. This, of course, will help in cost cutting, in competitive edge, and saving time and resources. And of course, business profitability. If you select the best service and the best operator to start with, which makes more sense, you can leverage on existing discount deals on your traffic share situation. Then this, of course, will lead definitely to better business profitability through increased revenue and reduced wholesale costs. The next steps for the RoLLOP module, as I said, we are expecting to close the testing phase and to go live with Telenor Group within Q2 2022. We have already started demo sessions and presentations to the interested operators. And we are expecting, of course, to get further inputs and suggestions and ideas from the market. We will continue to ensure that the full flexibility and that the algorithm is customizable for each customer, because we know that every operator might have other criteria, other priority criteria to select their roaming partners and to select the services they want to start with. And of course, for the coming releases and versions, we expect to expand the scope of the RoLLOP module with adding new inputs, new criteria, like, for example, network quality ranking. So many operators are today really selecting their partners based on the quality of their networks. Also, commercial potential. So in some cases, you might say, I don't want to open VoLTE roaming with an operator in a country where I have already 2 or 3 VoLTE roaming partners. It doesn't make sense. It's better to go and open with in a country where I don't have a VoLTE roaming partner or where I have only one. So this is the potential of revenues which will come from this rollout. And also financial reliability can be a criteria. You can say, I want to work with operators who are good payers in terms of settlement and you don't have any issues in the past with them on the financial side. So there might be, we are really happy and expect to get more ideas, more proposals in terms of how to make this module evolve and have more flexibility and options for the mobile operators. So that was it from my side. Thanks again for your attention. Hope you like this new innovation, which is a pure innovation for RoamSmart. There is no competing solution on the market. We are continuing on our innovation path. The next module is expected in the second half of 2022, which will be Steering Optimizer. Very excited about it. So we continue on the innovation part. Thank you for your attention. RoamSmart taking roaming forward.